Good morning, Piggy.
Morning.
Couldn't tell if I was recording or not. I had to look again.
Oh. Well, all right.
I record now.
Okay. Well, it's Wednesday morning, trash day. Y'all be listening to this on Thursday morning. And we just done our usual do. It's a little wet looking. It ain't raining, but it's had been raining, and we got a little bit of fog this morning, a little bit of haziness, and all that good righty right. I was telling Lane I seen a TikTok on the 2025 Tesla Cybertruck. Folks, it actually looked decent. You can still tell it's style of a Cybertruck, but they've redesigned it a bit. Looks a lot better as far as I'm concerned. Not that I'd ever get one, even if I could afford one. Just don't know. But no more what we do. If I ever had it to get it, I might get it if they ever got it to where you didn't have to charge it up.
Self-charging car.
Yeah, it can be done. And I'm talking.
We're turning right.
Oh yeah, that's right. We go the other way, don't we?
Yeah.
Autopilot was about to take over.
Piggy, where we going?
But anyway, it's a Elon account on TikTok. Got the blue check mark. I ever get to where I can get 100% totally sure that it is him, because he talks to me. And everything, I'll give him my idea. And of course, Elaine was telling me that she thought she's seen one on using that idea, but that's all right too. But you take that idea, I know he could make it work right. You could have a electric vehicle that you'd never have to charge. You just drive. And that's the whole point in doing EVs. But you could also make a much smaller battery because it wouldn't be running on the battery the whole time. Just long enough to get it started and going. And a different system could take over. And it wouldn't be a gasoline engine either. And then I saw another one where they was doing the tug of war between trucks, and it had the Cybertruck hooked up to a Chevy. I don't know what classification Chevy truck it was, but the point is that Chevy truck was sitting there burning smoke off its tires while it was getting dragged out of the way by the Cybertruck. Of course, I don't know how that compares to older trucks because, you know, they were a bit tougher then. But that's still pretty impressive. That Chevy truck, smoking tires and still being drug along. So that's pretty impressive. But that new one they got coming out for 2025, now that sucker looked like something. I liked it. But anyway, just see how it goes. Saw somebody, one of my friends on Facebook had posted one showing a guy sitting out in front of some building with a nice long pew pew, and it captioned it, "Folks in Tennessee waiting on them drones to come flying over." I commented to him, I said, "That's why them drones ain't flying over down here."
They flying over Atlanta.
Oh, did it?
Some of them did.
Well, you know, the only ones they got to fear down there as far as the pew pews go is gangers.
Yeah.
And they more worried about killing each other than they are anything else.
Yeah.
So that's why they would down there. They know they ain't got to worry about the gangers because they more interested in killing each other.
Yeah.
Unaliving. Let me rephrase that. Just in case.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that's what I commented. You know, that's exactly why they ain't flying over down here. Because
those people in the South are crazy.
Well, to a lot of folks down here, that's target practice.
Yeah.
It's unidentified. They can't tell us what it is. And I know some folks got pew pews that might could actually do something about that.
Yeah.
You know, and it wouldn't be no AR either. They some folks got other stuff a lot more potent than an AR.
I think it was one flying over South Carolina or North Carolina or something. Somebody shot at it, shot one down.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what's on my mind at the moment. I had something else in mind. Can't remember what it was. Maybe it'll come to me later. And I can mark it for another day and then forget about it when that time comes.
That's what we do, Piggy.
That's the way we do. So, a lot of kids out on the side of the road waiting on the school bus.
Okay, school bus coming in. Where were they then?
Well, probably different bus, different bus schedule, different school. That's probably why. So now we've done dropped off our charge. We're gonna go home and probably have a little something for breakfast. Maybe have a little coffee. My pot should be cooled off by then. I was gonna fix my coffee up this morning and saw that I was gonna have to wait because it was still on from yesterday. I thought for sure I turned it off.
Good.
You know, kiddies could have got up against it somehow and somehow turned it on. I don't know how.
They're good at stuff like that.
Oh yeah, they can do stuff on computers you wouldn't dream of by accident.
Yeah.
You sitting there, take you 10 minutes to figure out what it was they done and how to get out of it.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. Sometimes you just got to wind up turning the thing off
Reboot it.
and reboot that sucker. Because you just can't figure out what it was they did.
Yeah.
So far, I've been fortunate enough that I've been able to figure it out and get out of it. Or I think Elaine's had once or twice where she had to shut it down.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But so anyway, Have to wait till I get home, see if it's cooled off to where I can do it up. But if I try to do it up while it's still hot, probably would have burnt the element out.
Yep.
That cold water hitting on top of that heat.
We've done that before with one.
Yeah, it kind of has to come to that heat together. Can't just pour cold water on top of that hot element and expect it to heat it up. No, it's gonna pop it.
Yeah.
But go and do that. Used to have me a big old style coffee maker. I'd have coffee for all day long. But it wasn't doing me any good, keeping me awake or giving me no energy, so figured cut back on it anyway. If we'd come back after a weekend or a day trip or something, and everything, discovered it, I had left it on.
And when he says he did it because I don't mess with his coffee pot other than to set up his coffee every now and then.
Or unless she happens to see it on when it don't need to be.
Yeah, if I see it on, I'll cut it off.
And then she tells me about it.
Yeah.
Left your coffee pot on again.
But, I mean, it's best for him to know, so remember to look next time.
Right. And like I said, there's been plenty of times I was sure I turned it off.
Yeah.
But we'd find it turned on.
I think the kitty cats brushed up against it or stepped up against it.
Yeah. As heavy and tough as they are, they could probably move a foot and
Yeah.
affect it. But anyhow, I'll get home, see if it's cooled off enough, and if it is, I'll fix it up and have me some coffee. Like my com chief Top Rehnquist used to say it. Coffee. And folks, he literally sounded like that. He talked out the side of his mouth with a gravelly voice just like Popeye. And that is no joke. Nice as could be. I'd have never wanted to be on a battlefield knowing he was on the other side. Because you'd most likely lose and be dead. I'll just say that. Man was good at what he did, and he was 4 tours of Nam back to back, volunteer. He enjoyed his job. He had one weapon he liked in particular. And as some of y'all know, Nam was an era of innovation for such things and trailblazing. And everything in all sorts of ways. And well, what he'd done is he'd made him something akin to a switchblade. And what he had done was he took the blade off a bayonet and put it in a cylinder that was powered by the buffer spring out of the stock of an M16. Now, let me tell you, folks, that buffer spring was mighty powerful because it absorbed the shock off the firing off of a round. Because you didn't have that on there, it'd about take your shoulder off. But with that buffer spring, it just slightly rocks you back a little bit. Yeah, about like firing off a 22. It was not bad. So, anyway, he took and done that. Trick was, the difference between it and a switchblade was once you hit that little button to release it, the blade was not attached. It shot out
Bullet.
like a bullet. And I'm looking at Top and said, "Dang, Top." He said, "Yeah, silent but deadly." And that would be no joke. Well, truck, if you hadn't slowed down, that's wild. They'll come flying around there and coming down, and then they'll see somebody trying to get out.
They slow down.
Well, they'll do one or two things. They'll slow down, or if you make it across, they'll speed up, trying to hit you. But anyway, Top was likely on a lot of stealthy night missions, and let's just say he did say that it will literally nail a person against a tree. You got hit by it, you just did. Period. But anyway, but in peacetime with everybody else, a nicer man you couldn't find because he was nice as they come. Just don't be in combat with him on the other side. Because he was good. And anyway, that's the way he liked to say it, talk like Popeye outside his mouth. Coffee. Gotta have my coffee. It was funny. If you ain't laughing, maybe it's a you had to be there thing. Of course, I know these young people might hear that if they happen across my video and listen to it, be like, "Oh my God." Hey, realities of life are, you go to war, it ain't pretty. You might not come back. Someone talked about, well, die for your country. Well, the point of it is to make more of them die than you. There's some general that said something to that effect. He said, you don't go to war looking to die. You go to war looking to unalive as many of the enemy as possible than they can of you, so as to make them want to step down and step back and say, whoa, wait a minute. We ain't so sure about this. Point of war is to defend your country. Now, there's some I don't agree with, and I don't agree with how the military was done in those situations. But when you're part of the military, you go where your orders tell you to go, and you do what your orders tell you to do. And you go do it. There's been a lot of people affected by it. Come back, they weren't mentally ready. You know, the way I looked at it, I never got to go, so I don't know how I would have performed in actual scenarios. But I know in training, I was ready. And it was either going to be me or them. And if it was to be me, oh well, I did my part. You know, I was kind of sad. I was kind of hoping to go and wind up that way when I went. I hope that wasn't what God had planned for me. But, you know, I did my part. And there was some things that some had to do that broke their hearts really bad. And I could understand that. And anyway, I'm not going to get into that. That's some really ugly stuff that, well, like I say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Things like that I'm thinking of just needs to stay where it was at. It was what it was. It had to be done. And those that were part of that have to live with it. All right, squirrel. Okay, he made it. But anyway, I was talking about that Zephyr truck, Cybertruck. Look that up. That thing looked neat. Now if they can get it to where you don't never have to charge up, that might be all right. Piggy loves you.